At the beginning of the movie, we see that a 16-year-old girl, Lee, has come on a business trip with her father. Lee's father is the CEO of a multinational company, and today he is going to close a very big deal. Lee asks her father, "What are you doing, Dad?" So her dad tells her that he is preparing for the sales pitch to get that deal today. Lee says, "Should I also come to your corporate meeting? I will be very disciplined and strict there." Her dad says, "I know, but you stay here." So Lee says, "No, then I will run away with a drug dealer. Will you like that?" So Lee's father says, "Don't make such jokes." Then Lee's father asks, "How am I looking?" So Lee says, "You're looking very good." She gets up, fixes her dad's shirt a little, and says, "Now you are looking perfect." Dad asks, "Should I wear a tie?" So Lee says, "No, you don't need to wear a tie." Lee's father hugs Lee and leaves to finalize his deal. Lee wishes him good luck. After her dad leaves, Lee has nothing to do, so she starts arranging her father's clothes. After resting for a while, Lee takes a shower and then goes to roam freely in the hotel wearing comfortable clothes. By the way, her dad had forbidden her to go out of the room, but Lee had to buy water bottles, so she comes out of the room and goes towards a lift. Then a handsome middle-aged man comes inside the lift. He presses his floor button and unintentionally touches Lee. Lee was chewing bubblegum in a fun way, but that man was looking at Lee's charming face while pretending to check his phone. Lee was playing with the bubblegum like a normal teenager, but this man's eyes were not moving away from Lee's face. He keeps looking at her again and again. When his floor comes, he steps out of the lift. Even after getting out, he turns back and looks at Lee once again. Then the lift door closes. After that, Lee comes back to her room. When she reaches, she sees that her dad has already returned. Her dad asks, "Where did you go?" Lee says that she went to buy water bottles. So her dad says, "At least you should have told me." He says that he had forbidden her to go out of the room, and if she goes anywhere, she must inform him first. This was an agreement between them. A little angrily, he says, "What do you think of yourself?" Lee quietly says, "I'm sorry." Seeing this, Lee's father calms down. He calls Lee to him, hugs her, and says, "I am very worried about you. That's why I keep telling you all this." He says, "I have no one in this world except you." Lee also understands his feelings. Then Lee's father says that the hotel management has arranged a dinner. He says, "We both should get ready and go for corporate dinner. Otherwise, we will be late." He tells Lee to get changed. Lee asks her father for a white corporate shirt. She wears that shirt for dinner so that she can match with the corporate people. Lee asks her dad, "How was your meeting? Do you think you will get that contract?" But her dad does not answer this question. Instead, he praises Lee's dress and says that she is looking very beautiful. He says, "You are really very beautiful. You are my daughter." Then he says to Lee, "Let's go down to the dinner table, and he will come back with the contract from those people." Lee says, "Yes, Dad." Then Lee's father takes Lee to the dinner party. At the dinner party, Lee sees that her father is shaking hands with a man named Christine. He introduces Lee to him and says, "She is my daughter." Then he says to Lee, "This is Christine. She is our purchasing manager." Lee had already met this man in the lift. Lee's father says to Christine, "Do you have a minute? I want to talk to you." Then Lee's father kisses Lee and leaves from there. Lee tells him to bring the contract. After her dad leaves, Lee greets the other people at the dinner party. Then she sees that her father is talking to purchasing manager Christine in a corner. It looked like they were arguing. Lee finds this very strange. After that conversation, Lee's father looked very sad. So Lee goes to her father and asks, "What happened? Dad, can I help you?" Her father says, "What can you help with?" Then sarcastically he says, "Can you give me that contract? If you can then get it," after scolding her in front of everyone. He leaves. Because of this, Lee starts crying. While crying, Lee reaches the terrace of the hotel. There she sees the same purchasing manager, Christine, sitting alone. Christine says, "Hello, did you like Oslo City?" Lee replies with tears, "No, I didn't like it much." Then Christine asks, "Have you been to Copenhagen?" Lee says, "No, I have never been to Copenhagen," and she smiles a little. Christine stands up, comes near Lee while smoking a cigarette, takes off the muffler from his neck, and wraps it around Lee's neck. He says, "It is very cold." Lee does not say anything. Christine asks where she lives. Lee says, "We live everywhere because of Dad's traveling. But in the beginning, we used to live in Switzerland." Then she says, "After that, we lived in different cities because of Dad's job. Most of the time, I have spent in New Zealand, where my dad belongs." Christine asks, "You always travel, don't you feel lonely?" Lee thinks for a moment and says, "No, because of traveling, I meet different interesting people, so I don't feel lonely." Christine likes her answer a lot. Christine was the only person who could give this deal to Lee's father because he was the purchasing manager from the other company. Lee removes Christine's muffler from her neck, gives it back to him, and says, "I should go now. My father is looking for me." Then Lee leaves from there. Now we see a corporate meeting going on. In this meeting, Lee's father requests Christine to give him the deal. He says that he is ready to give better quality carpets at a lower price. But Christine says, "You will have to lower the price even more. Only then I can give you this contract." Christine does not pay much attention to Lee's father's explanation and keeps looking at Lee. Lee is playing with her hand hands during the meeting because she is very nervous, as Christine is sitting next to her, and Christine's intentions do not look good. Christine slowly brings his hand towards Lee and tries to touch her inappropriately. Surprisingly, Lee is also not able to resist, but she feels it is strange, so she moves her leg, looks at Christine, and gives him a glass of water. Lee's father sees all this and smiles slightly. Lee does not understand this. After the meeting, Lee goes out of the hotel with her father. Outside, Lee asks her father, "Christine is a little weird, don't you think?" Her father says, "How is she weird?" He says that corporate people are always frank and open. He takes Lee back to the hotel. Lee says she wants to go to her room, but her father takes her back to the party without her consent. After dinner, everyone starts drinking and partying. Christine asks Lee to dance with him, and he starts dancing with her. At first, Lee hesitates, but after some time, she becomes comfortable with Christine. While dancing, Lee sees that her father is enjoying with another woman, so she calls her father to dance, but he refuses. This feels very strange to Lee. Now, Christine slowly takes Lee to the other side of the party. Lee keeps looking at her father because she does not understand why he is not talking to her, but she still keeps dancing with Christine. While dancing, Lee and Christine get closer. Lee also starts feeling a little attracted to Christine and opens up. She sees that her father is standing there, enjoying himself, but no one is paying attention to her. This feels very strange to Lee because she has never seen her father behave so freely. Now Christine comes very close to Lee and starts kissing her while dancing. Lee looks at her father again. Her father also looks at her, but after seeing everything, he quietly leaves. It seems like Lee's father wanted her to get close to Christine. Lee does not understand this behavior of her father. Christine distracts her and asks her to leave with him, so Lee says, "Let's go." Christine takes Lee out of the party. Lee is confused from both sides, but quietly leaves with Christine. Lee still does not understand her father's behavior. Christine takes Lee to her room and gives her vodka to drink. Lee stands near the window, drinking vodka, and her breathing becomes fast. After some time, Christine comes behind her and starts kissing her on the neck. After that, Lee and Christine become intimate. When everything is over, Christine leaves the room and Lee is left alone. Lee does not understand where Christine has gone without saying anything, so Lee goes back to the party hall. There, people are still partying. Lee starts looking for her father. After a while, she sees her father talking to Christine. Now, both Christine and her father look very happy, even though they were arguing some time ago. Now, they are celebrating something together. Lee starts thinking and slowly understands that her father has got the contract, but she becomes confused. She thinks, how did my father suddenly get the deal after my relationship with Christine? Suddenly, someone pushes Lee slightly, and she comes out of her thoughts. She goes to her father and takes a glass of wine. Lee's father tells her that he has got the deal. That's why he is celebrating. Lee had already guessed this, but she notices that Christine is now avoiding her and is not even looking at her. Lee's father is cheering everyone. Lee also cheers with him and says, "Great work, Dad." Her father lovingly says that she has drunk a lot. Lee replies, "I haven't even had a sip." Then Lee goes to Christine and starts kissing her in front of everyone. Lee's father quickly separates them. Christine also looks at Lee, and then Lee leaves and goes outside. Lee's father follows her. Lee stands outside and signals for a taxi. Her father runs behind her and puts his coat on her shoulders. Lee starts crying, and her father tries to calm her down. Now Lee realizes that her father gave her unnecessary freedom and used her to get the deal from Christine, and now he is pretending to care. He says that everything will be fine by tomorrow. Lee also realizes that Christine took advantage of her after becoming intimate. Christine did not even talk to her properly. It felt like Christine only wanted to be physical, while Lee was emotionally involved. Lee feels hurt when her father hugs her, but she moves away from him because now the trust between father and daughter is broken. Lee's father says, "There's no one in my life except you. Please stop." But Lee keeps crying. She still sits in the taxi because her father has completely broken her trust. Crying, Lee sits in the taxi and leaves for Denmark. Her father is left standing alone behind. Relationships are always based on trust. A father broke his daughter's trust for financial gain. It was a double pain for Lee because both her father and her first love, Christine, broke her trust at the same time.